In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, there are a few different ways that you can hunt for shiny Pokemon and get better odds than the base 1 in 4096, whether that's just running around at full odds or hatching eggs with the pseudo method. However, the method that gives you the best odds of finding a shiny Pokemon is from mass outbreaks. The base odds of a shiny Pokemon in a mass outbreak from the start is the base 1 in 4096, but you can raise those odds in a few different ways. First, you can complete the Paldea Pokédex and receive the shiny charm from Jacques in the biology room, which raises the base shiny rate to 1 in 1,365 chance for every Pokemon that is not a fixed encounter. You can also make sandwiches via the picnic, which can raise the shiny rates for a given type from 1 to 3 levels, with level 3 raising the base shiny odds to 1 in 1,024. Lastly, knocking out Pokemon in an outbreak raises the odds further, getting a boost at 30 and 60 knockouts with the increased odds of 1 in 683. Luckily, you are able to combine all of these different methods together to increase the total shiny odds to the highest possible 1 in 512. So now, you really just have to decide what Pokemon you want to shiny hunt for, and I decided to go with Clauncher. I think he's a cool little guy that often gets overlooked, and he has really grown on me in the past few years. And I mean, just look at him. He swims backwards. Why does the little guy do that? Now, in order to get an outbreak to appear for the Pokemon you want, you have to check the map and see what outbreaks are available for that given day. The only way to refresh these outbreaks that I know of is to skip forward a day in the system settings of your Switch. The good thing is, it does not take too long to cycle through these outbreaks, and you do not have to close out your game to reset them. The last thing to note about outbreaks is that certain outbreaks are easier to get than others. For example, if you were looking for a Marill outbreak, you would probably find one very quick, as Marill can spawn in the lake, river, grass, and beach biomes, and it is also available in both early and later game areas. But for a Pokemon like Clauncher, it can only spawn in the ocean biomes, which are all on the outside of the main map as far as I know, and I've only ever seen it appear on the north or west sides of the map. So after date skipping, I eventually found a Clauncher outbreak at the bay just north of Porto Marinado, so it was time to start knocking out Claunchers. The best way to do this is with the auto battle feature, and it's fastest to do this with a Pokemon that can swim or fly, as I think it makes it easier for them to move around. I chose to do this with my Azelf that I transferred and then got my 60 knockouts. 1, 2, 60. I didn't actually count exactly how many I knocked out, as there's a message that appears when you have knocked out around 60 Pokemon, letting you know that there are not many Pokemon left in the outbreak, so I normally wait to see this message and then knock out a few more just to be safe. Did you know that according to this very real graph, a whopping 0% of my viewers are subscribed? Make sure to subscribe to see more quality content and support the channel. It's free, it only takes a second, and you can always change your mind later on. Now that I have all the knockouts I need, I dropped down a hard save and got ready to make a sandwich. There are tons of different recipes you can use depending on what boost you want, but I used this guy that I saved a while back. So for a water type shiny boost sandwich, I would need 4 cucumbers, a pickle, and 2 Herba Mystica. Now I just have to place them on the bread and... very fun, very necessary minigame. Oh. Good thing I saved, right? Alright, time for my second try. Well, I still ended up messing up a children's minigame, but it looks like I still got the shiny boost, so I'm just gonna stick with that. I didn't notice this until later on, but I actually got a level 3 Sparkling Power, Tidal Power, which is for marks, and Huge Power 3. I thought that the recipe was going to have Water Encounter Power instead of Huge Power, and you normally do want to have Encounter Power so that you can limit some of the spawns in an area. For example, if you're hunting for a Rockruff, you could use Rock Encounter Power to make sure that you only see Rockruffs, and all of the other spawns of different types in the area, such as Hoppip, Marill, and Lechonk, would no longer spawn. But this actually ended up being a good thing for me, because almost all the spawns in the ocean are water types, if you can believe it. So Encounter Power would not have done much other than get rid of the occasional bird I saw, and bigger lobster equals better lobster. Now that I have my sandwich made, I dropped down a hard save so I don't have to waste any more Herba Mystica in case the 30-minute sandwich timer runs out. I used picnic resets to cycle through the Clauncher spawns, which just means that I would start a picnic and instantly leave it so that new Claunchers would spawn and I could get a new chance of seeing a shiny one. Unfortunately, since Clauncher spawns in water, it means that my picnic resets took much longer to do. You see, in order to start a picnic, you need 3 basic things. You need to not be on your legendary mount, there has to be enough flat open space, and you have to be on land. So instead of just sitting there without moving and picnic resetting, I would have to go back to the beach, do a picnic reset, and then drive back to the ocean and look for spawns and go back to the beach and repeat. By the way, I streamed all this live on twitch.tv/Siberian975, and I'm going to be streaming the new Teal Mask DLC every day starting on Wednesday the 13th until the end of the week, so make sure to follow me on twitch.tv/Siberian975 to know when I go live. The last thing to take note of is that because Clauncher are small, it can be hard to scan through all of them to see if any are a different color. It also doesn't help that Clauncher is the same color as the water, and half of its body can be under the water, which can make it look like a different color sometimes. The last few things that made this a bit harder was that there were weasel spawning that kind of look like the same orangish red that shiny Clauncher is, the lighting at different types of day that can make things look a bit redder, and rain, which of course we had to get, which made everything much harder to see. But eventually... Alright, let's get 3 shinies and 1... Oh, is that it? That's it. Alright. I shouldn't need to worry about, like, false swiping or anything. Where'd he go? Okay, I thought he despawned. Alright, let's see. There we go, shiny. I don't know if there's still square shinies and stuff in this. Alright. Has to be a Pokeball I want. Normal one to match it pretty well. Great Ball's good. It's alright. Why do I have so many Premier Balls? I mean, it shouldn't be that far-fetched to catch them. It's level 27. It's not that high. Critical capture. It took around 25 minutes or so after making the sandwich to get her, and I was glad it didn't take longer. Some of my shiny hunts that I've done in the past ended up taking hours to do with these same methods, such as Noivern. It was annoying to hunt for as he's able to fly away and make it hard to check its spawns. I did not end up getting a mark or anything on my Clauncher, but that's honestly fine as I was just going for a shiny in general. Now that I finally got my shiny, I decided to get her to level 100 and give her a good moveset in nature, and then test her out in the Ace Academy tournament, so my shiny lobster is ready to join my team just in time for the Teal Mask DLC. So is this lobster really one of the hardest Pokemon to shiny hunt? Well, not really. There are still harder Pokemon to find outbreaks for, to spot the different shiny color for, that can self-destruct, or that are only available at certain times of the day. But the lobster is still harder to get than this thing.